Have you ever been singled out before? Maybe you have experienced the humiliation of being called on in class or in a meeting, feeling like all the eyes were on you. Or perhaps it's even worse, someone had the deliberate intention to humiliate and shame you in front of others. You know that sinking feeling when you're being targeted and it feels like the world's just kind of closing in on you? The pain of being singled out can leave lasting scars on your confidence and self-esteem. But fear not, for I am here to share with you a powerful strategy to not only just endure those moments, but learn how to rise above them with grace and resilience. With this strategy, you'll be equipped to face any situation, whether well-meaning or malicious, and emerge stronger than ever before. I had an urge to make a video on this topic, and not just because I struggled with this in the past, but because recently there was a country music star who singled out a couple of their fans with the pure intention to humiliate them. It was honestly disgusting to watch and just made me cringe. If you haven't seen this clip, here's what happened.
I'm gonna stop right here for a sec, Danny. I'm sorry. These girls are worried about their selfie and not listening to the song. It's pissing me off a little bit. I don't like it. I don't.
Now, I'm not a country music fan, so I really don't know much about this singer other than she sings country music. But can you imagine being humiliated like this? Really think about it. You want to go see your favorite singer in concert, so you hop online and you're looking at tickets and you say to yourself, you know what? I want the best experience possible. I'm going to splurge and spend that $250 to sit in the front. You and your friend are having the time of your life and you want to commemorate this memory. You take out your phone to take a selfie with your favorite singer in the background with your friend next to you, and then this happens.
These girls are worried about their selfie and not listening to the song. It's pissing me off a little bit.
Singled out by a personal idol of yours in front of thousands of people for simply taking a selfie at a concert. This is another level of humiliation. Thankfully, most of us won't face this degree of humiliation, but we've all experienced being singled out before, whether it's well-meaning or maliciously. How you should respond depends on how you were singled out. This is what you should do if you're singled out in a well-meaning way. By well-meaning, I mean something like your boss asks you a question at a meeting, or someone asks for your opinion in a friend group, or something else where people aren't trying to be malicious about it, but they are kind of, singling you out and putting the attention on you. First, you should be as proactive as possible for any sort of situation where you know there's a good probability that you'll be singled out. Anything like, a class or a meeting. Prepare yourself for these situations. Don't go into these with no information on what's going on, because you're setting yourself up for failure here. When I got my first job out of college, we had weekly meetings with an agenda, and this is the strategy that I use to eliminate that fear of being singled out and not having any information to respond. Take a look at the agenda, if there is one, and write down questions or ideas for every single topic that you see on there, and bring this piece of paper with you. Your social anxiety brain might tell you, oh, don't bring this piece of paper. People are going to think you're weird for bringing this. Absolutely not. All well-prepared people bring in a notebook or piece of paper to take notes, something of the sort. So this is not a weird or abnormal thing to do. It just shows that you're prepared and you're taking this seriously. It'll make a positive impression on your boss, teacher, or whoever else is around you. Not to mention, this will ease your nerves so much. But this is life, and there's not always an agenda or way to prepare for every situation that you come across. So you need to place value on your own thinking and be okay with the fact that not everyone is gonna like your ideas, thoughts, or opinions. That's normal. So if you're called out and you have something to share, share it. And do this even if you're scared to, because your idea that you're sharing could be something that sparks an idea for somebody else. On the other hand, if you're singled out and asked a question or opinion and you really don't have anything of substance to add on, you can say something as simple as this. Oh, thanks for asking. I was actually thinking the same thing as Jimmy over here. Or if it's a question you don't know the answer to, you can say this. And this is going to sound really simple, but this is all you really have to say. I don't know. There's a reason why we use IDK to abbreviate I don't know, because it's something all of us say all the time. It's perfectly normal and okay if you don't know the answer to a question. We've all been singled out before by someone asking us a question or something similar. And a lot of times you're caught off guard when somebody singles you out because you're so focused on trying to stay under the radar and no one really notices you, so nobody calls on you. And then when somebody does talk to you, somebody does single you out, you kind of freak out because you weren't expecting it. Often leads you to feeling really anxious and then speaking really fast.
Cause I'm feeling like I'm running and I'm feeling like I gotta get away.
Here's a really simple trick that you can use that I use all the time that I learned from my speaking coach. Because if you don't know, I am a public speaker and I speak to teens and parents of teens about social anxiety and general mental health. Take a deep breath before you start talking. I do this before every single talk that I do. If you've watched my TEDx talk before, you'll see that I take a really big deep breath and exhale before I start the talk. It helps ground you and just bring you to the present moment. But what if you are singled out for something that is a required response? Even with preparation, you may not have every answer laid out and well thought through for anything that comes your way. So if you do get singled out with something that you're not prepared for, or you really haven't put much thought into it, this is what you can do. Think out loud. This is exactly what it sounds like, is just thinking out loud. But you do want to preface it before just doing it so people don't think you're just, blabbering. So you can say something like this. I may ramble here for a minute, but just bear with me. My initial thought on this is, and then you just think out loud from there. I think a more specific example would be helpful here. So let's say you work at a coffee cup company and you're at a meeting with your other coworkers and your boss. And this is your prototype coffee mug that your team is working on. Let's get a better look at this here. So you see he's got some glasses, it's a wolf, and he's got a bow tie. Okay, so keep that in your mind. And your boss asks for your thoughts on the accessories that the wolf is wearing, referring to, the glasses and the bow tie. Here's an example of what thinking out loud might sound like. I haven't put much thought on this in particular, but my initial thought is the accessories seem to all be on the lower half. He's got the glasses on, which are pretty low down. He's got the bow tie. I feel like there's something that needs to be on the upper part of his head. And maybe even we take off the bow tie, because I'm looking at this and the bow tie isn't actually on the wolf, it's just right below. Maybe we do take off the bow tie and we put something on his head. I mean, not bunny ears because he's already got ears, so that might be weird, but maybe we put a hat, or one of those hats that's got the little propeller that spins around. And oftentimes when you think out loud like this, people around you will start to chime in and say, oh yeah, and what about this and this? Oh, and here's my idea for that. You just transferred this singling out to yourself to be with the whole team, or the whole class with you, instead of it just being you. And so you sparked ideas from a lot of people and got everybody talking, and now you feel more comfortable. What about the other type of being singled out though? What if you're being singled out just to be embarrassed or humiliated? Someone in a social setting singles you out by making fun of you, or singles you out because they don't agree with you, or singles you out because they're angry about what you're doing. Yeah, I see you taking selfies while you're supposed to be listening to me. Deep inside, you may want to and wish you had the courage to, flip them off or say, screw you, man. But that's usually not the best way to go. You don't want to stoop down to the level, and that's just going to make things worse. They're bullying you. And do you know why bullies bully? It's because of internal reasons. They feel insecure, powerless, the need to be in control, or feel like they're going to be rewarded somehow by humiliating you and singling you out. Take a look at Miranda Lambert's actions again in this clip.
These girls are worried about their selfie and not listening to the song. It's pissing me off a little bit.
How do you think she is feeling inside about herself if she is so bothered by a couple fans taking a selfie at her concert? To me, she doesn't seem too secure with herself. So remember, someone maliciously singling you out has nothing to do with you. Nothing. Nothing. So there's a few things you can do if someone does this to you. You can ignore them and just walk away. It's easy and simple, but also not always the appropriate reaction if someone's singling you out maliciously. For example, if they're singling you out by saying something untrue about you, you probably shouldn't just walk away. You need to stand up for yourself a lot of the times here. And this doesn't have to be some epic speech like you see in the movies. You can say something like this: "I'm not sure why you're saying that, but that is false. I'd appreciate you coming to me privately before accusing me in public." Don't try and argue your point to them about why it's not true. It won't go anywhere and it'll just make you look desperate and guilty. State your piece and walk away. An important note to remember when people are singling you out just to embarrass you is this: no one can embarrass you unless you allow it. Allowing it is determined by your response. If you emotionally react, you've lost the battle and embarrassment will set in. Humor is also a good response for these type of situations, but not always possible. If you have quick wit though, use it. Just don't stoop down to their level by trying to embarrass them with your wit. If you can keep your cool in these situations, people will respect you for it. And if Miranda Lambert comes at you when she has a microphone and you don't, just ignore her. Probably leave, get a refund, and never listen to that god-awful music again. Thank you all for watching. I hope you liked this video, as I know with someone who's had social anxiety in the past that being singled out, whether maliciously or well-meaningly, sucks. I mean, it's terrible either way. So I hope this stuff will be really helpful for you in the future in handling those situations. And remember, just take the high road, get 1% better every single day, and I'll see you next week. Peace.